undefeated in the month of September. But actually, a lot of information on SOS. He's 6-10. Played a lot of games in the last few days. But let's take a look at overall records versus Protoss this year. Zest still rocking that 67% at 32-16. And overall, you know, versus Protoss, it's 54-31. Not so bad. I feel like he definitely shows some weaknesses in his late game PvP, like super late game. You know, we're talking maybe you're thinking about taking a 4th base kind of late game.
I feel like we've seen these two players go up against each other once. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think
like
you might
a very
be right.
late game on Frost cross spawns. Do you remember a game like that?
Well, definitely, I remember a game of Zest, and I wasn't sure if it was SOS or Hero or who he was playing against, but do kind of remember that. If you look at SOS's record versus Protoss in total, he has a ton of games played and a slightly better overall win rate in PvP this year. So definitely favored. I think he's just the overall better player in general right now in Korea. But you know, Zest is a champion. That's something SOS hasn't yet been able to say for himself. It's time, guys. Let's go into game number 1.
KT 로스터 Zest 주성우 vs G-Nail Green Wings SOS 김유진.
Down here in the bottom right in the red, it is Zest making his hotkeys, swiping his hand across that board.
And of course, Zest.
Best
is the Zest. Wait, they said it. Oh. Oh my God.
They actually did it.
They did it for me.
They were listening.
She looked at me after I said that. I gave her a thumbs up. All right. Wow.
Today's main event.
Game pause.
These two fighting against each other.
We have a pause, by the way, which is good because I didn't get to introduce SOS properly because best is the Zest. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Me too. Oh, it's so good.
No, I was looking at some stats right when that came up on screen. I wasn't even paying attention. You tapped me. Had you not tapped me, I wouldn't have even caught it, and all would have been lost.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brendan.
The world would have ended. World hunger would have starved the planet.
I don't know if that's what would have happened, but
Flash would have burst out of the wall and just...
We don't have an observing PC, so in this case, I don't know what they're saying in chat.
We can see it from very, very far away on the
I
first
can't read
person
that.
view.
Can you read that?
No.
So I keep feeling like my vision's really terrible. I ask people around me, I'm like, what does that say? They're like, I can't read that. I'm like, okay, thank God I'm not the only
I think
one.
I see go-go.
Yeah, I can
and
see
now the
that.
countdown.
Yeah, I can see that too. Probably
Your
just
vision's fine.
some minor problem, I hope. RDY.
Birdie.
All right, so let's say this again. Up here at the top is SOS.
$, oh, $.
And then to the bottom right is best is the Zest. Now, in Heart of the Swarm, Zest has a 4-2 lead. So that's actually pretty important to note going into this. A bit of a rivalry.
Yeah. These guys have played against each other quite a lot. You know, both from pretty top teams here in Pro League.
I've said this before, but when you're a competitor in sports and you end up facing the same opponent in multiple tournaments, you really get this feel of like, it's not a rivalry, but you know exactly what I want to laugh too. Fighting. He wants to learn Korean, he says. And he says, I can't understand. Below that is the second line. He wants to know what's funny. But as I was saying, when you become a competitor, you go to the same tournaments. This happened to me in fencing tournaments that I used to go to. You see your opponent's face. You remember him, that's right, I played against you 2 months ago. You know, I fenced against you 2 months ago. You know, StarCraft, we hit each other in the open bracket at the last MLG. You know, you get this feeling of like, even though you don't really remember their style, you're just like, oh, this was the guy who beat me, and it can't get into your head. Or, you know, on the other side of things, I beat this guy last time. Like, I can do this again. And you don't want to get too overconfident, but it's definitely something that kind of sticks in your mind. So this kind of stat, like the fact that Zest is winning 4-2, even though SOS I feel has a lot more recent success, is really important. I'm glad that we get to see that.
Yeah. I feel like that kind of thing comes out more so in individual sports. You know, I think about, you know, team sports. It's not quite the same. You could think about it as in the other team. Like, we keep losing to these guys. How are we going to do this? But it's more of like a team effort. But this is like just one-on-one, one guy versus one guy, one mind versus one mind. And it can really get into your head.
Yeah,
in
sure.
that way.
If you would take a team sport, though, you know, say where you end up head-to-head with somebody again. For example, if you take League of Legends, you know, you're top laning against somebody in a tournament, and you top laning against that guy again. Even though there are other teammates around, you know, you're still like in that moment against that guy.
Same roles,
right?
You know, that kind of thing.
So let's take a look at this game a little bit closer. Faster second gateway here for SOS, and a Twilight Council comes up for Zest. So that's the variation here of these builds.
2 Stalkers popping out of SOS right now out of his 2 gates. Should see another gate here drop for Zest. Yeah, there it is. He's going to go 3-gate blink probably.
Oh. That Mothership Core taking some damage. Stalker lurking about. So with those 2 gates coming up, we'll see blink here added in just a second, I would guess. There it is. And a very fast greedy Nexus here by SOS, even off of 2 gates. This is fairly risky on a 2-player map like this.
Yeah. Kind of hoping that Zest is going to stay back, not scout this, but Zest is right in the base. He's going to see it right now, and he does. This probe of SOS is out on the map. Wonder what he's going to be doing with that. He's getting a robotics facility right now, so no crazy tech's going to go down here and maybe do anything with that probe over there.
Nexus taking a little bit of damage here. And he's going to come over and scout. See, okay, you just have 2 gates, no tech really. That Robo's coming up. Ooh, this is pretty intense. Recalls, barely gets away.
10 health.
2 Sentry Blasts, we got in that. The first Immortal is not ready, and this Nexus is taking a lot of damage. That Mothership Core is going to be able to... Oh, what? Could be for a Void Ray. I don't think so, though, because normally we see Oracles for this sort of thing. The Oracles do a lot of damage to those Immortals. Okay, Nexus Cannon should be activated in just a moment here. He wants to do it at the last second. There he goes.
Yeah, Blink is not out just yet. Seems like Zest wants to get some damage onto that guy, onto that Nexus, before he backs out, and he does.
There's a warp in over here, 2 Zealots, but they will be shut down. But these Stalkers are warped in, out of position now.
It's going to take a lot away from that. Oh, nice block there. Huge.
Nice. Jumps right back into the assimilator. Wow.
And now he's going to make those probes away.
Not even one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really nicely done. Again, though, nicely done by SOS to take away some of those 3 Stalkers from this push. I mean, now it's going to be much harder to snipe that Immortal. I was saying that probe isn't going to do much, but it turns out it did something.
Well, that Oracle coming out here is going to be able to help knock the shields off of this Immortal. And look at that, Nexus Cannon is gone now, too. Need to be careful with those Stalkers. A bit of an extra right-click there. Stayed on too long.
Yeah. Really curious to see how much this damage this Oracle is going to get done. Because he's focusing all the attention here at the front. He wants SOS to be looking only at the front of his base, and this Oracle's going to come out of nowhere. He scouted with those 2 Zealots, you know, and he might be like, oh, okay, you don't have anything else. But that Proxy Stargate, oh, look at this. He's going to use it for vision and blink into the main.
Yes. And then he can unpower that Robo. He even made an Observer, the fear of DTs. Always a very real fear. Okay, gonna unpower the Robo, or at least attempt to. He's gonna get the first pylon.
SOS attacks his gateway in fear, I guess.
Oh, the Mothership Core! He loses it! And then panic, Nexus Cannon's the main, which leaves the natural open. But still, time is running out for Zest. He's actually making a Nexus at home and his own Robo. I'm not so sure how this is going to work out for him, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't feel confident in his push anymore.
You get some probe kills here, meanwhile.
Yeah, looks like he just wants to expand behind it and just try to catch up. Maybe sneak in some damage, maybe send in 4 Blink Stalkers into the main, snipe some probes, try to do some more damage with that Oracle.
All right. Blink coming out here counter-wise for SOS. That means that you can move across the map with Immortals and Blink Stalkers for a counterattack and do a lot, as long as he can eliminate high ground vision. All right, these are going to blink in, but they're a bit caught now, and he's got nowhere to run. He needs that blink off cooldown. Force field's coming out to make it a little bit tougher, and he's going to lose a lot of these Stalkers. Very little damage done, if at all. That hurts. SOS taking a pretty significant lead in this game. Also getting the +1 a little bit faster, just barely.
Oracle trying to find damage where it can. Could find some there on the right side, but doesn't quite see it as we do. Mortals now coming out of Zest. But again, SOS definitely has the advantage in this game, and he's going to use it. He's ahead in Harvesters, trying to get out more Mortals and Blink. And some Gates.
That Oracle has been so helpful this game. He's been able to snipe so many probes, to get so much extra information. He's been able to blink into the main. That's such a useful unit he's been able to utilize here. And now he's going to go into the main base again. Scouting the extra gates. Sees no third base. Got to be careful. Oh, misclick. That's going to cost him that Oracle.
Yeah, you were talking about how useful it was. SOS agrees with you, and he got rid of it.
Too many Immortals here. And Blink, is counter Blink done? It's almost done. You can't be messing around like this. I don't know if he even knows Blink is coming. He might actually try to do something risky like that again, and it might cost him all of his Stalkers. Making cannons at home just in case of more Oracle harass. And that's that counterattack I was talking about. You got your own Immortal Force coming out plus Blink. Look at the Stalker count, 15 to 6 right now. I know the army supply is still broken, guys. It's probably not going to be fixed today, I was told by production. Here we go. He's got 2 Immortals up there. Got that high ground vision, but with this massive Stalker count, he can blink to the main. And I think that's exactly what he's going to do. He's got that Observer up there, and there he goes. Let's start picking off these pylons.
Gets one pylon. It's probably going to get another.
He can force field him out! And he does force field those Immortals out! And now he's coming in here, and he's going to take away those Stalkers here on the low ground. So many Stalkers down here to help out as well. Zest is desperately trying to force field what he may here. And that Nexus Cannon is helping out. He cues it again.
Cues it again, but so many Stalkers here doing a ton of damage. And that force field is just staying alive. He's just continuously doing that force field there. The Immortals can't get any shots done on any of these Stalkers right now.
And that should be it here for game number 1. Zest is trapped up the ramp. Will not be leaving anytime soon. That Nexus will fall here, and therefore the Nexus Cannon as well. Finally, he gets down the ramp here. He's got 3 Immortals. So maybe he survives a little bit longer, but with some good Blink Micro and another Warp in, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy. Can't get through there.
Losing the Nexus even in that, even if he doesn't kill him right now, which I think he will. Lost the Nexus. GG. SOS takes game number 1. You were saying SOS probably has the advantage here. I feel like he has a lot more experience in PvP. He's played in a ton of series in PvPs here, and he shows his experience. Very nicely done in game number 1. Pretty interesting strategy out of Zest, trying to, he takes some pressure away, makes less Stalkers, and just makes an Oracle. Tried to use it to his advantage, but a nice little trick by SOS as well to warp in a couple of Zealots and force the warp-ins back at home for Zest. Definitely took away a lot of the power of the push as well.
Yeah. Really a solid defense there by SOS. That type of counterattack is really, really